Deion Ferguson. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the basement. That's Bassmint. We're in the basement, about to do an interview with this fine bassist. And tell us your name, sir.
My name is Chris Reed.
Chris Reed.
And as you know, that's not my real name.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. So anyway, I like to say, wonderful. That was very wonderful, Chris. But before we do this interview, which I like to introduce what I call the Basement Squad, Bassmint Squad. To my friend here inside, tell his name.
Popetropolis, Popetron, Pope and Fiction, and all of that.
Okay, Pope is a great bass player. Are you over 60 yet, Pope?
65.
Pope is a legend, okay? Anybody, this is me, anybody that's been playing 40, 50 years and you in your 60s, I consider you a Detroit bass legend, whether you accept it or not, okay? And next to him, tell us your name.
I'm Joe Griffin.
Joe Griffin, a nice bass player and guitar player. We're going to be interviewing him one of these days. A former student. Now he's studying under the great Brad Russell.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Joe. I'm listening for you. Next to him, tell us your name.
Mr. Robert Lupaka Luckett out of Southgate, Michigan.
A current student of mine.
Yes.
If I see you over Brad Pitt's house, I'm gonna know something. I mean, not Brad.
Same tier is different.
Oh, that's funny. Look, and next to him, tell us your name, Chris.
Chris Louis from Royal Oak.
What's funny about these three guys I just interviewed, they got on the same hat. That's a in the basement hat. I'm not calling the Detroit bass players in the basement because we international, we global, we in over 200 countries and territory, this YouTube channel. So it's a in the basement hat. But we proudly from Detroit. And if you want one, I'll tell you how to get one soon. And they only $20, okay? Next to Chris, tell us your name. Eli.
Eli Eisenberg, Toronto, Canada.
Well, he has on Eli is now, because he's from Toronto, Canada, and a proud bass player representing that country, and he came all the way to hang out with us in Detroit in the basement. You are now an honorary Detroit bass player.
Yeah.
Look, and we appreciate your input. That he likes to share educational stuff. He's a member on the Detroit Bass Players page, and we appreciate your input. Don't stop, keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Now next to him, over here sitting next to me, in the VIP section, tell us your name, Freddie.
Freddie Guy Hudson, Detroit fretless bass player.
He's an original Detroit fretless bass player. One of my favorite songs of his is his composition on Float On by the Floaters. Was that a fretless bass?
Absolutely.
Really?
Okay, so you see what I'm saying?
All
So
that time I was learning it, I'm thinking, I thought it was Fred, man.
spot on,
I thought it was Fred.
spot on intonation.
Good to see you in person.
Spot on intonation. Sorry about this, Chris. I got my plug here inside. Tell us your name.
Reginald Gay from Southfield, Michigan.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do an interview with him right quick.
Yeah.
Tell us your name, Twan.
Oh, well, there it is. My name is Twan Green, and I'm from the east side of
Is
Detroit.
that Twine Green too?
Yeah, Twan Green too. Maybe.
All right. Inside joke on the two. You'll understand once you see the interview. Mateo, tell us your name,
My
sir.
name is Matteo Micheletto, and I live out in Livonia now. So just moved out there.
And he wants one of these hats, y'all. So wish him luck, support him, and make sure he gets a hat. Next to him is our gracious host. This is our second since the pandemic, since Reginald Canty passed away. This man has offered us his basement to record these shows and use his electricity. Tell us your name, Steve.
Steve Burkhalter.
Where are you from?
I'm from Oak Park, where the basement is.
That's where.
I'm from here.
That's where the new basement is in Oak Park. And like him, we welcome all bass players at all levels to come and show up and hang out. Let me interview you because one of my goals in life is to interview every single last Detroit bass player, knowing that it ain't gonna never happen, but I'm gonna have a fun working my way to that. And the guy Freddie that's sitting next to me, he's gonna be on the next one. We're gonna talk about that fretless, the history of Detroit R&B fretless, because we got another guy that's famous for it, Lamont Johnson.
Yes.
May he rest in peace. So anyway, sorry about that, Chris. Welcome to the basement. And the first question I always like to ask is, when did you start playing the bass and why?
So my relationship with the bass started 33 years ago, I guess. My dad was a bass player. My brother, who's 12 years younger than me, he's a bass player. And so it, like many of you, kind of a family thing. And yeah, my dad just is a Detroit bass player still. Played in bands, through the 70s, 80s. Opened for a lot of, big acts like Ted Nugent and Stevie Ray Vaughan at Pine Knob. And yeah, but he, through that relationship and just music being played in the house, going to his rehearsals, he would let me tag along and take my little plastic guitar, my plastic saxophone because they were a rhythm and blues 60s soul band, so they had a big brass section. And just my love for the bass when I would see him play on stage. He plays real smooth, all finger style, and I was just like, I want to do that. I want to do that. In part because he's my dad, but in part because there's just something about that range of frequencies that it just spoke to my soul. So when I went off to school, I took up the guitar because I thought, well, I can't really sit around, the dorm room slapping the bass, and might have better luck with the ladies if I pick up guitar. So I took a little detour, started studying guitar, learning more about chord theory, and so I play both. But I've come back around to the bass because that expansion of understanding chord theory and functional harmony it's made me a much better bass player.
Do you currently play with anybody, or are you just a lover?
I was in college for 10 years. It was a lot of moving around. I played in a lot of bar bands around Atlanta. When I moved to Chicago and started traveling a lot and working, it was hard to keep playing with people because I was jumping on a plane every week. But I kept studying my instruments and played with a couple of cats in Chicago that were phenomenal musicians. But mostly my gigging is sitting in, filling in. I like learning new material, doesn't matter what the genre is. Currently just teaching a couple of young bassists, and I'm a teacher by nature, so I love studying, playing for my own mental well-being, spiritual well-being.
That's good enough.
And yeah.
Okay.
So look, what is that you got in your hand? What is that?
This is, so the first bass that I ever played was my dad's 1974 Fender jazz bass. So had a maple neck. I think the first thing he taught me was like a smoke on the water. You know, three notes.
Black Sabbath
Yeah, let him hear that.
or Deep Purple?
Smoke on the water.
Song on the-
And, you know, just a couple of notes and just the way a Fender bass feels. This is a good one too, man. This one really resonates. This is my number one. We have, between my dad, my brother, and I, we laid them all out and took a picture one time. It's pretty cool because we have his '74 jazz bass. He's got a pretty old P bass. My jazz bass. He's got a 25th or something anniversary Music Man Stingray, and then I have a G&L 5-string with a rosewood. So we kind of have like we're definitely Leo Fender bassists, and so we had kind of his whole body of work, and it's kind of a cool picture.
Good deal.
Yeah. Okay. So what? I'm going to go a little bit off base subject here. I almost want to ask y'all if y'all have any questions now, but we ain't put up enough information about Chris. Like I try to dig in and get all up in y'all business. But when we say Chris Reed, now if y'all were listening, he said he went to college for 10 years. Now either he's slow
A little bit.
or either he's what I like to call him, Dr. Chris Reed, PhD. We got a doctor in the midst right here, Dr. Reed. So
Dr. Reed.
thank you.
All right.
And I say PhD. If one of us fall out right now, he can't help you.
No, not the kind
He
of
ain't one of those kind of doctors. We'll pray for you and call an ambulance.
Right.
But could you pass this down, Eli? I want to talk about this. Now that's my copy. Keep passing that down. Keep passing it down. That's my copy.
All right.
Pass it down.
All right then.
And what is? First of all, let me zoom in on it. Just give me a second. What's the name of that book there?
This book is called Sacred Conversations.
That's one of your. That's one of your books,
This
right?
is the newest one, yeah.
Now, what is that book about? If you don't mind
So
sharing.
the subtitle is How God Wants Us to Communicate. And I tell the story in the book, but all my work is in leadership and organizational development. And it was through a period of time during COVID when I was, studying music more, started working with a really great jazz guitarist on my guitar playing, but all my work is really about conversation. It's about communication, which, musically, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, okay.
We're having a conversation with the drums, with the melody, with the rhythm. And so I started kind of thinking about what do I want to do next? What do I want to write? And started having sacred conversations with this sort of spiritual director, mentor, kind of taking lessons, and a teacher. And he's like, man, you talk about your faith a lot. Have you ever thought about writing a book from the perspective, about human conversation, but from the perspective of your faith? And I said, you mean like be a Christian author? And he goes, well, that's between you and God. So I, no joke, walked out of his office, wrote down the phrase, Sacred Conversations, and 21 days later, by grace.
Wow.
The first book took a year to write. This took 21 days, so that's...
Is it available to the public?
It's on Amazon and wherever you buy books.
So if we were searching for it on Amazon, we search by the title?
Sacred Conversations, yep, under my name, Chris Reed. It's published by Sophia Institute Press, and they've got it on their website. my website is oursacredconversations.com.
Okay, so you don't insist on people calling you Dr. Chris Reed?
No,
right?
nobody calls me that.
Okay, but you are official doctorate recipient, right?
Well, it's on the cover, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I graduated from the University of Georgia with degrees in interpersonal, so like relationships, and intercultural communication.
I think that is so awesome. And the real reason that I got him in here, it has nothing to do with the bass, but I lured him here about, hey, the bass, man, could you
I
come
didn't
and
think I could play. He just thought I wrote books.
Look, the real reason I wanted to address this, and this is exclusive, y'all. I mentioned it to you guys earlier. Chris Reed is on the board of directors of our new official Detroit nonprofit
There
501c3.
we go.
He is the
Yes, sir.
right now. He is the we still coming up with acronyms for our board of directors. Right now, he is the chief. He did it all and helped us apply. That's a lot of acronyms. Chief helped us get it together. Officer. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, Chris is very responsible for the application going through. His knowledge has helped us. So he's on the board of directors. I mentioned that I'm on there. I'm the chief. Try to keep this going. I want to put some cuss word acronyms in there.
Put it in there.
And then Kern Brantley is the CEO, and then we have another great director, Michael Reyes, who's an instructor himself. He teaches the Livonia School District, and we got Little Asmar's daddy, Big Asmar out of New Jersey, Marilee Benur, who she's another doctor, by the way. So we got doctors on our board of directors to help us make this year's Detroit Base Day as awesome. We're going to apply for grants and try to, with the EIN number, we can submit, I don't want to say applications, but we can ask for sponsors and they can write off. We making this all official, and I'm exposing the name today because the application has already been served. We're just waiting on approval. The name of the nonprofit is called Detroit Based Federation.
Wow.
DBF, and we trying to take over, just like they got, the website is going to be DetroitBasedFederation.org, because we all about education, and we're based influence, but it's not just based. We trying to educate everybody who want to be educated. So the thing is, we trying to raise funds for the nonprofit, and Chris is hands-on in that. And then one of the things I'm selling, until we get our logo built, our website built, I'm selling these hats because I'm trying to get money for things that we want to do. Free scholarships, free 5-lesson scholarships, or free scholarships worth $100 per scholarship with under different instructions. I'm selling those hats to make money to get us. We're going to start an awards thingy. My vocabulary, I'm losing my articulation the older I get. But we're gonna give away awards, and I want the first one to be called the James Jamerson, whatever we come up with, word award, and we got to find a recipient for that. And it's gonna be somebody. I ain't going to even throw no names out there until we get it together. But that's what these 4 hats in a row. That's what we selling for, $20. Holla at your boy. And your boy is me. And my name is not Ivan because the I is too selfish.
So it's even.
Yvonne. Yeah. So that's another thing. So Chris is responsible. He's helping out so much. Anything you want to add about our 501c3 that we about to throw out there and make it a big thing?
Well, I mean, all of you have been to Base Day. I mean, in its 11th year, it's obviously built quite a community. And with our rich history of bassists around Detroit and the influence that it's had on music around the world, it's just, it's an honor to be on this journey with the board, with all of you. And, you know, as I was saying, that the mission is around education and in community and in recognition of bass musicians and musicianship, all forms, fretless, key bass, upright. But I think the potential of DBF to inspire bassists from Canada, from South America,
From Uganda.
I mean, Bass Day is attracting, you know, in partnership with the Motown Museum, it's attracting bassists from around the world. So to help shepherd this and formalize it in the form of a 501c3, so the recognition of the hard work that all have put into Bass Day and all those who have attended, to be able to keep elevating it, you know, getting some big name bassists in to do clinics, local and across the world, to do workshops, to do clinics, to support young people with gear giveaways. Just keeping this going, because all of us wouldn't be in here if it wasn't for somebody letting us pick this thing up for the first time and pluck away. So hopefully we can continue that legacy through the Detroit Bass Federation and inspire others in other cities, because it is honoring Detroit, but we know there are like these satellite bass communities that are popping up in other cities, but they don't have what we have here. So
Yeah, and that's true. Under the umbrella of James Jamerson, is why we do it. The relationship with Motown, where he used to hang out, is why we celebrate. And I'm gonna throw some names. I want to start these awards by giving them away to people like Ron Carter and Ralph Armstrong and Nate Watts, and then some others like the dude who played with Elton John. The Bassmint, a Detroit bass player. I think Brad knows him. That plays with he plays with Elton John as a Detroit bass player. Something Bassmint.
Is it Bijanet or Bass?
No, it's Bassmint.
Yeah.
Or I might be pronouncing it wrong, but Brad plays with his brother, the drummer, on occasion.
Well, that would be Greg Bijanet. That would be Bijanet then.
Greg.
Bijanet. Okay, so yeah, and just to, you know, it's some great bass players out of Detroit.
Lamont Johnson.
Lamont Johnson, we might have to name an award after him.
Yes, sir.
Because he passed away, but because he's innovator, pioneer, and then we, like you say, satellite bass players from Detroit and L.A. Byron Miller and Alex Al out there in the L.A. area. In Nashville, we got people posted up in Nashville. Man, that's just to name a few. Philippines, we got Detroit bass players posted up in Philippines. And Indonesia, we got this killer bass player in Indonesia. Oh man, it is so many.
The young guy?
Yeah.
No, this is an old guy. He's 65 or around that age. I'm just saying Detroit bass players. Detroit bass players, without disrespecting any of the other great bassists from around the country and around the world. No disrespect to them. It's just the pride that we have here for Detroit bass players. So if you want to do a donation and help us out, we don't have the .org yet set up, but you could. I'm gonna put up under Chris multiple places to make a donation, because if I put just my Cash App, which is $bit music lessons, I might nothing. I ain't gonna. I'm just playing. I just want y'all to have options, right? Just like the scholarships, I want them to have options. I don't want to lock them in with just, you got to take lessons with me. I want them to have options, okay? That's the kind of guy I truly am. So with that said, anybody have any questions for the fine bass player before I let them out?
So do you get to play out a lot, or some? Or?
Well, between the ministry around the book, working, yeah, I mean, not as much as I like, but
So any certain band name, or that we can try to catch you?
no, man,
play?
that's the hard part is staying in bands. You know, is we've kind of talked about in some of the other interviews. It's a long story. So I write a lot at home. I am working with a couple of students, and yeah, I know, and always learning, always you know looking
never
to
stops.
who's my next teacher. I got a book many years ago called like Zen Guitar. And it's about kind of loving the plateaus that you hit and those peaks and even the valleys, because there's some good stuff that comes out of the valleys too. So
It is.
I'm always looking for my next teacher, and I think maybe they're sitting in this room. You know.
Oh, Chris, you had a question?
No, I was,
Oh, Eli, you had
are you on faculty anywhere as a doctor?
No, I'm kind of a blue collar scholar, I say. Kind of a pracademic. I still work with a lot of higher ed teams, but no, I got a corporate job, and my retirement gig. Should I be so lucky, play more bass and continue to teach. Yeah, just teach classes.
Awesome.
Okay, so well, some of my students are teachers and airline pilots and doctors. So if you need bass lessons, you can contact me at Big Eye. Just Google Big Eye Teaches.
Do I get a board member discount if I contact you?
Of course you don't. You can win no, you're not eligible for a scholarship, darn it. So yeah, seriously, if you want to get some stuff done, holler at me. I can help. I'm pretty knowledgeable. So anybody else have any questions for?
All right. How does bass make you feel when you play?
Oh man. Well,
Good question.
As a multi-instrumentalist yourself, it lifts my spirit. It absolutely soothes my soul. Unlike playing guitar does sometimes, it's meditative. You know, you look at the notation for, a lot of the music that I like to play, and it just repeats. And I kind of get into this space because it's almost like a rhythmic meditation, and so it lifts my soul, man.
Therapy, folks. Bass therapy.
I got a question.
Steve?
Do you play at any churches? Have you done any churches?
I've played in, I played guitar and some music ensembles. If I were to ever play bass in a church, I would want to play gospel, because it's like a little bit more active and fun, and I just love the genre. But yeah, I've dabbled in that. In my church, I've dabbled around in many different ministries, lector, and doing workshops to help people, and through their conversations with each other across differences, and lots of ministries in the music ministry. Sometimes it takes away from, it's strange in a church context. For me, it takes away from the experience of the worship sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's different, because you're creating that space for the community.
Everybody's there to receive.
Yeah.
You're the one who's setting.
You are the servant.
Yes.
And sometimes it's kind of like, well, how do I get fed if I'm always, but we have a beautiful ensemble in our church, and it was a blessing to play with them.
Where's your church at?
I'm north of Detroit, up in Lake Orion.
Oh, okay.
Christ the Redeemer, and really good MD there.
Up 75?
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
75
Yep.
and exit where you get off at Pine Island?
Yeah,
further?
south of that, like
Okay.
Lapeer Road.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Okay, Freddie, you had a question for?
Well, what he was speaking of, and that's a position that usually has some confusion with the music that's provided and the service, and then you're being fed. The one thing is that what was set up through David was that music is the really military part of the church. The musicians went first. Those guys had their stuff and they wasn't shined up until the musicians played. And so then from there, that was Old Testament. There's a scripture that says, and I'll be quick, but the scripture says that he shall purify the sons of Levi. So those are the singers, musicians, and all like that as a family, So in the New Testament, the question is, why is so many singers, so many pastors and all singers and musicians? Because in the Old Testament, there was the only one that could handle the word of God. So for your feeding, it's personally for you as a musician that you drink out of the cup of the Lord. Whether we get paid or not, it was established while they kept the Spirit of God in the house. It was established, okay, your reward is that I feed you out of my cup. So then you get it all first. Then everybody drink from the saucer.
All right, that was contortionistic. Usually Steve has rearranged the basement to accommodate this big crowd of bass players. Thank you, Steve, for. Okay, I'm from Detroit. I see something out of, my peripheral vision is 360. Okay, so anyway, thank you, Steve, for allowing us to do that. And I still got somebody behind me, because last time I was filming mostly. I was like, "Did y'all get in front of me?" So thank you for bagging the couch up, accommodators. Now we need to get some more bass up on the wall. So that is a bass, folks. That's
Small mouth. That's a small mouth bass.
all right. So look, anybody else got any questions for him? All right. So with that said, how can we follow you? If we, for whatever reasons, do you have social media?
Yeah, Chris Reed on Facebook, Dr. Chris Reed on Instagram, oursacredconversations.com. That's where a lot of my writing is done. But Facebook has some music and stuff that I write and just mess around doing.
Yeah, good. Thank you for the book. I'm going to read it today. And
Thank
folks,
you,
you guys, spiritual guys, take a peek at the book because it's I know it's going to be awesome. Because the time I've spent with this guy is a pleasure. And is it anything?
Is it Reed, R-E-E?
REED. Yep.
Is it anything that you would like to say in closing?
Oh man, keep studying, learn how to read, listen to everything, work hard. Eat, pray, groove.
There you go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, now all we can get you to, if we can get you to just play us out, Mr. Reed. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
All right.
Mr. Chris Reed, Dr. Chris Reed.